All right, so for this video, we're going to do one more retooling for our health, just a minor change to handle player death. And then we will actually tweak our audio. So right now when we die, when the character dies rather, the health goes to 0 and then -1, -2 and all that stuff. Really what we want to do is to show, you died or something like that. Fairly quick fix. So here in the observer on the game manager script, now for this, we actually need to create a new observer. So we're going to copy the observer that we already have. We're going to copy that. I'm going to paste. And this is going to be of type, or the name's going to be is living. Right. Now the type will be a bool, and the observer is going to be type bool. The default value for this is going to be true. So if he's living, we're good. So we've set the is living to false, right? We have the observer, and when the player dies, good. We need to actually invoke something particular here. So we need to go into our health text update. And then we're going to create a new script, a new function called public void game over text. And for this one, we're going to pass in a value, a Boolean. I'll do is living. And for this, all we need to do is do health text dot text is equal to game over, something like that. So when we die, we can invoke this function, right? But that won't actually continue to prevent the update health text from updating when we lose health. So we go into our game manager where we lose health. Here, inside of it, we want to add in a check to say, well, if our health dot value is greater than 0, then we want to be able to, take away health. If they're already at 0, we don't want to take away any more health. Doesn't really work that way. So only if our player currently has more than 0 health will we take away health. Otherwise, they'll skip all this. And health check, actually, we do still need to do this. This goes down here, sorry. So it'll only take away the health if we have greater than 0, but then it'll do the health check to see if we died. And for this, every time we lose health, it's going to still keep trying, checking to see if we've died. So we can modify our health check to see, well, if our health that value is less than 0 and double ampersand and is living that value is equal to true. So if the character has not died yet, but we have less than 0, health, less than or equal to 0 health, then we'll trigger player death. And then we'll say, well, is living is false. So we can save that. So now in Unity, I'm going to go to my game manager, and then we have a new is living value, right? So on value changed, I can put the plus button, and I have to give it the object. So I'll do health text. The function we want to call is health text update game over text. So is living is true by default. But when it goes to false, then we can trigger that text. Health is 3, run over, and 0, 2, 1, game over. There we go. So that works there. All right, so now let's go ahead and tweak how our audio gets played using that observer pattern. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a new script. And this is going to be called player sounds. I'm going to go to my player character, and I'm going to attach that new script, player sounds. And then open that up in Visual Studio. So this isn't going to replace the sound effects manager. The sound effects manager is going to handle the actual audio playing, but player sounds is going to be set up as an observer for other things to play certain sounds. Just like our health text update can be updated from multiple points using that observer, we're going to set this up here similarly. So I'm going to go to my player collisions, and I'm going to grab this audio clip heal sound and cut that out, put that into player sounds instead. Now I have this sound effects manager play sound clip, right, where it plays the heal sound. I want this script, I'm going to delete these functions here. I want the script to play, have a function called public play heal sound. That's going to be public void, play heal sound. And take this sound effects manager thing and cut this out and paste that inside of here. Go back to player collisions. I'll save this. So by taking the player sound and pulling that out over there, I can then set this up, the player collision, to be a observer with an observer pattern. So if I go into game manager, I have this public observer bool. I'm going to copy this. I'm not going to cut it. I'm going to copy this as an example. Go into player collisions, and I'm going to paste that here. So this observer is going to be a bool, and I'm just going to change this name of it to be is healing. I'll set the value of it to be false. And then when I do the health pickup, right, I'm going to add a new line here, and we're going to do is healing dot value is equal to true. And then we're going to set it, after we destroy it, to is healing dot value equals false. So we're setting it to true, so it'll play the sound effect, but then we're going to immediately set it back to false. That way we can trigger the sound. We're going to go back into Unity now. And on my player character, in my player collision script, I have the is healing thing, right? So I'm going to do the on value change. I'm going to set this to be, or for the game object, it's going to be the player character. Player sounds, play heal sound. And then for the audio clip, I need to actually give it that audio clip again. So I need to find where I put that, which one I used. And I think I used potion drink A. So I will now assign that to that audio, that sound. So if that worked, I'm going to press play and see. So I'm going to pick up this health pack and I play the health. And I can see that the value is back to 0. So it triggered that sound effect. We then quickly add in one for when you lose health, right? So for player sounds, I'm going to copy this. Instead of play heal sound, I'm going to play damage sound. And for the audio clip, instead of heal sound, I'm going to copy and paste this. I'll have this to be, trap sound. Actually, we'll set this to play trap damage sound. And then I will have it trigger that trap sound. Go to player collisions, scroll up, and then I have this is healing observer. I'm going to copy this, paste it, and we'll call this taking damage from trap, something like that. And now when we hit the trap, we'll do the same thing we did down here. We'll do taking damage from trap dot value equals true. And then we'll immediately set it back to false afterwards. Back in Unity, I have this new taking damage from trap thing in my player collision. I'm going to add this here, and it's going to be for the player character. function player sounds, play trap damage sound. Now we just need to give it the sound it should play when I take damage from a trap. I'm going to go with this Ballista Shoot D sound effect that's inside of Medieval Fantasy Pack SFX2, Weapons, Ballista Shoot. My player character, and then I will assign that there. And now when I hit the trap, I should take damage. And it should play a sound. So now I'm going to jump on the trap. There we go. So that's the process for adding sound effects that we're going to go with. There's a few other small tweaks we can make though. In here, in the player sounds, I'm going to change public to be, hold on, I'm going to copy and paste. I'm going to grab this serialized field private and copy this. I'm going to player sounds and change the sound effects to be serialized field private. Both of these. And then I'm going to add in the header. So I'm back to game manager again, or in our player controller. Yeah. We have this header thing that we made earlier. I'm going to grab that, go into player sounds again, and I'm going to change the header for this to be audio clips. Then go into player collisions, and I'm going to put another header. And I'll call this one events. Just to keep things organized. Back in player character, select my player character. I have my events, which I can go ahead and minimize those out now. My auto clips. And yeah, so we've retooled our events to use the same observer pattern as the health. And now it's a lot easier kind of just to call those events. We don't have to worry too much about linking things together. If we decide to remove player sounds altogether, nothing will break. And we can actually set it up where we have multiple things in the same event listener. If we wanted to, we could set up our player collisions for is healing. We could actually do the stuff we did in the game manager in there. But we actually just want to keep those things separated out anyways. So that's it for this video. Thanks.